All right, audio test, audio test, audio test. Okay, so I believe hold on a sec, my audio is working just fine. So let's see who's online right now. Okie dokie. Pop out chat. That should be useful. All right. Hey guys, so welcome to our online replacement class. I wonder who's online right now actually. So participants for tonight are you guys haven't logged in. Okay guys, do leave do join the chat and just let me know if you're there or not. So tonight, okay, by the way, I hope my audio is clear. So, in case my microphone is not clear, please let me know, yeah? So I'm going to be doing a revision of, whoa, hold on a sec, sorry about that. So I'm going to be doing a revision of, the whole syllabus up till whatever comes out for the midterm exam, right? All right, hello, Sophia, and hello, Fatina Mira. Welcome. Let me just slow this down. Ah, Wafara. Okay, that's you. All right. Okay. Okie dokie. Now, where are my slides? Hold on a sec. Okay. What? Why message retracted there? Nothing wrong. Okay, this one. Yeah, I only had like three PowerPoint slides I used, right? Or maybe. Okay. Hello, Irfan. Welcome. Do get everybody on board because I might be covering very important stuff. And oh, by the way, if you guys have any questions, this is the best time, all right? So you guys can consider this as, consultation and also, sort of like a mini revision of sorts, okay? So I'm just trying to load all the files right now because it's quite a lot to show you guys. So hold on a sec, just hold on a sec. IPE 2018, another one. I already have this file. Okay. So for tonight, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually go through everything we've covered so far, right? And no, I will not tell you exactly which subchapter is coming out. I have to be fair to everyone, so everybody, oh, you're using somebody else's account, Kazi? Oh, well, welcome to the stream, guys. By the way, Ainol and Fatin Soleha. Oh, Fatin Amir, you got the wrong section number earlier. No problem about that. I do that sometimes as well. Atika, Izia, Naziha. Okay, while I set things up, please do, ask questions or discuss stuff. I'll be right back in exactly 1 or 2 minutes. All right. Oh, walaikum salam, Wafa. Okay, just give me 1 or 2 minutes. Back very soon. Hey, okie dokie. Welcome back. Thanks for waiting, guys. Okay, got some stuff to sell this now. All right, let's see. Aisha, Noah, Suhab, Honey Pao, Norzaiti, Zuhaida, Sapana Flip Table. Oh God, guys, don't be rough on the tables, guys. If you're in the library, you know that's your a property. Don't flip tables. Just flip your hair and flip your hijab and flip anything else, but not the table. All right. No violence, no violence. Walaikum salam, hybrid Neko. All right, so I already have my slides loaded, but they are not appearing on the stream yet, right? Ah, you have a club discussion? All the best with the discussion. I totally support that. You can always watch this at any other time, but if you join in live, of course, you have the benefits of live discussion. All right, so just let me add the window capture. What is the Synap gang? No, don't. It's okay. No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Sometimes, commitments can get in the way. Things happen. I am not shaitan. Don't worry. Now, why isn't the thing showing in my... Okay, hold on a sec. Something is really fishy in my computer right now. Okay, right now you can't see anything, right? There's nothing showing. Okay, you can see my face there, but my app isn't loading properly for some odd reason. So just give me a second. Sometimes this computer just running out of battery? Seriously? Oh, no problem, no problem. Okay, something is horribly wrong on my screen right now. It's not appearing at all. Yes. That's a Juju IP battery, what? What? Okay, so the slides are not appearing. I guess the slides marajo with you guys, I don't know. Let's see. So we're gonna start with the very first chapter, yeah? So I hope you can see me, by the way. I'm just gonna open this then. Apache Open Office. All right. And then video capture. No, not video capture. This one. Yep. I need to get the right, what you call this, thingy going on. Ah, it's working now, right? Alhamdulillah. So, okay, it works finally. So we're gonna go slide by slide, just going back to the lessons one by one, all right? So one of the first few things you need to know, okay, it is not appearing properly on this version of the computer for some reason. Let's ignore that. But one thing that you guys really need to know and from the get-go, all right, are the what you call that, the hadith which are relevant for our subject, right? The hadith and the verse. So guys, so far how many Quranic verses have we covered, all right? Quite a number, right? For example, early in the syllabus we covered Surah Rum, verse 22. And okay, guys, let's have a mini discussion in chat. So what is this particular Quranic verse about? Come on, guys. So what is this particular verse about? It has to be about something. It has to be a bit about something. Hold on a sec. Why isn't it working? Wait. What? Something's wrong. Okay. I don't know why my cursor is going haywire on this. I think that's better, right? That's a bigger screen for you guys to watch. Okay. Originality of language? Are you sure it's about originality? What is this particular verse about, guys? This is where it gets really nice to discuss. Are you sure? So far, we have very surface level questions. Okay, I know this particular verse is not about divine source. This is not the divine source verse. Every language carries a worldview. Maybe it's quite okay, Zafira. I think if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Okay, what else, guys? What else? Yeah, keep the answers coming in, please. Please do keep the answers coming in. Maybe I should make the screen a little bit. I don't know. The screen's a bit weird right now. Come on, keep the answers coming in. What is this verse about, guys? Your midterm is this Wednesday. Islamization? Ooh, that's pretty far. That's pretty far from what this verse is about. This verse has nothing to do with Islamization. Hmm, it doesn't mention anything about word choice. Okay, honey pao is quite close to the answer. Okay, but how? You guys are like you guys are like skipping the important points, all right? This is interesting. Keep the answers coming in. Well, my voice is clear, right? I hope the video quality is decent because I am aware that the internet can be on the slow side in Gambang, which is why I'm not using Twitch for my online lessons right now. Okay, whoever Honey Pao is incredibly close to the full answer. Okay, Moon and that's already off record, right? Origin of language is a different verse altogether. Okay, Irfan has a point there. The importance of knowing other cultures. Yeah, Hannah Patricia has the point. Okay, Kazi is on point. Yeah, Kazi is completely on point here. So you might want, okay, what I can recommend, guys, is that you guys, maybe in your free time, in your mahala and whatever it is, discuss the verse thoroughly. But I can tell you, this is not about the origin of language. It doesn't say anything about where language came from. This verse is about the significance of language, about why we should study it, how language is important, but it doesn't tell us anything about where language came from. So be very careful, guys, because there are not that many verses, so you don't want to mix up your explanations. For example, you quoted the right verse, but you got the explanation for another verse. That is a rather easy way to lose marks. So make sure you're giving the right description for the verses, right? And of course, let's not forget this particular hadith, a very important hadith. And this is the one that actually has to do with worldview, guys. So you know, this is where you guys need to be really careful. Don't mix up the descriptions, right? Yep, so Ainul is completely correct there. So it's about the learning part, right? Language helps us learn, right? It's an important medium, yes. Ainin is Ainin there, right? You're completely on point. But when it comes to this particular hadith over here about Zayd ibn Thabit, now this is the one that is about worldview, right? So you have to be really precise with how you answer things. Just be careful over there. And then this is okay, the slide's not appearing properly, but it's not an important one actually, don't worry. And then it's not appearing properly on this computer, right? Sorry about that. I don't know why it's messing up over here. So that's one. Any questions about that part so far? I know we're going quite fast. When you think about it, we actually don't have that much in the whole syllabus. All right, so first of all, oh my God, my slides are not appearing properly at all. Okay, let me figure out a countermeasure for this. Okay, just give me a second. I need to open this in PowerPoint. But my computer's PowerPoint at home is pretty finicky. It's not acting normal. So just give me a second, guys. Yeah, it's not appearing for some odd reason. Okay, this one's not appearing well as well. Okay, something is a little bit weird. Just give me a second, guys. What I can do is, let me see, maybe I'll open this with, okay, hold on, I think my capture is not working properly. Sorry about that. Just give me a second to figure out things. But do ask questions while I set up. What the heck is the window? Meanwhile, what chapters do you feel are difficult? What is coming out? Well, my answer is going to be very simple. What's coming out? What you guys learned, basically. This is not what I want to come out. I need. Just give me a second. This thing is not acting good today. Just open file. All right. Okay, there's a problem here now. My files aren't opening properly on this computer for some odd reason. At least, okay, so the text is not going to appear properly on my slides for some odd reason, but at least I think you can work it out, right? Okay, so I'm going to have to, what the heck is going on here? No, 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 no. Okay. So, okay, this slide is messed up right now. Sorry about that. But basically, what this is about is the definition of language, right? So make sure you know how language is defined. Like your textbook has its own definition, which you can use as well. And you can use the definition which I covered with you guys, which is language consists of what? What does language consist of? All right, let's see. Specifically, what's coming out? Questions. Format. Okay, for the format, there are no MCQ questions at all. No way, no MCQ. Symbols depend on the questions. Yeah, I know I'm being very vague there, but I just want you guys to prepare. Just prepare to the max, all right? So anyway, if you have to know what's the definition of language, you have to, okay, welcome to the stream, Amirul. Okay, so where was I just now? Oh, was I? Answering? I mean, I guess it's the question. Oh yeah, Irfan. Can I clarify here, Irfan? Are you asking me about what's coming out, or are you asking about the definition of language? Okay, let me see. Which part should we focus on? Okay, Adriana, all I can say is everything. I'm not the kind of person who does spot questions or spot chapters. I'm the kind of person who's like, read everything. I would say focus on everything as well. Ah, the definition. Yes. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, my wife actually pointed it out just now. So yeah, thank my wife for noticing what Irfan was actually asking. So yeah, language consists of signs and symbols, all right? So make sure you understand what's a sign, make sure you understand what's a symbol, and what's the purpose of these signs and symbols? What do they connect? They can connect a certain word starting with M. I'll type it out and yeah, what word is that? I'll give you the blanks there. Hmm. Ainin answered it. So it consists of signs and symbols which are arbitrary and non-arbitrary. It links meaning and expression, can be understood within a context. Make sure you understand what's a context. Make sure you understand what is meant by meaning. Yes, meaning is the answer. And make sure you understand what is an expression. Okay, for those who just joined the stream, something is horribly wrong in my slides for some reason on this computer. Forgive me, some slides are going to appear really weird, but at least I know what each slide's about, all right? And then, of course, make sure you know about the theories of the origin of language, all right? So where did language come from? Okay, I may have only focused on like one and a half theories. Oh, by the way, welcome Risha to the stream. All right, I may have only focused on just, not all the theories, but you should ideally know all of the theories, all right? So if you read the book, there are other theories such as glossogenetics. There's the theory of, physical adaptation, or is it called physiological adaptation? The book changes the name every time, so it's kind of annoying. There's also the bow wow theory, the heave ho theory. Do read up and make sure you know your theories, all right? So divine source isn't the only theory. It is the main theory, but it's not the only theory, all right? Just because I covered one of that and then the rest, not so deep, doesn't mean that the rest are not important. The rest are equally important as well, all right? Then, you know the divine source theory very well. You should also ideally, what you call this, divine source is a very long story behind that. I think the current edition of the book only made it into one or two paragraphs, I think, not too long. But what you need to know is about, of course, these people, Chomsky and Eric Lenneberg. Make sure you know what theories they came up with. So let's say, the question asks you, for instance, and of course, I'm not going to give you an exam question, of course. Let's say, okay, explain the theory, explain the concept which was introduced by Noam Chomsky. Now, what happens every semester is that there's a tendency to confuse which theory or which concept comes from who. So make sure you know. So, Chomsky, what is his main concept? So far, I've only taught one concept from Chomsky. You will learn another one later on in chapter 6. But right now, we're up till chapter 3.5. So, yeah. What is Chomsky's greatest contribution to the study of language? This guy is the father of linguistics, so ideally you need to know what is his theory about, what's his concept about, how do you define that concept, what is yeah, okay, universal grammar, right? So great, thank you, Adriana. So he introduced universal grammar. You can also write it as UG, not universal language. Universal language is an instant zero because that's another concept by a different scholar. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, that concept is mentioned in the textbook. So you have to be very careful. Universal grammar is something else. Universal language is something else as well. So be careful of mixing up the words and the names of the theories. You have to be very careful, right? So universal grammar is also known as UG. You can write UG in the exam, all right? Because among linguists, it's understood and acceptable to use, certain terminologies or certain names, right? It's been accepted worldwide, like IPA, UG. So what is universal grammar about, guys? Make sure you know what it is. If you need me to explain, let me know. And then we have Eric Landenberg. You have to know what his theory is, all right? What theory did Eric Landenberg introduce? What hypothesis did he introduce to the study of language? And also, his his hypothesis is not just for language studies; it's also for other fields such as psychology. But yeah, it's really important for our field as well. Critical what? Okay, so be careful, guys. If you write critical, you will not get marks. If you write period, obviously you won't get marks. If you write critical period, you won't get marks. It's critical period hypothesis, the full name, all right? Because the critical period hypothesis is about the critical period. So you have to be very precise in how you name certain things, all right? If you write time limit, that's obviously not the answer. That's the explanation. That's the explanation of the answer. So be very, very careful with how you describe the critical period, all right? So yeah, that's chapter, I think this is still chapter one or chapter 1.5, I think. Okay. Next, can we discard some changes here? I'm going to be talking about, let me see, perhaps I can show these slides over here. Okay, again, my slides are messing up for some reason over here. Forgive me, but don't forgive Microsoft. Okay, language acquisition. Yeah, I know something's really weird happening here, but make sure you know what are the principles of language acquisition. Make sure you know what are the stages of language acquisition. What are the 5 stages? Make sure you know the time range for the stages. Make sure you know the examples of what are said during each stage, and so on and so forth. Make sure you know what is baby talk. Don't confuse baby talk with the stages. And then you know the principles of language acquisition, which is quite important as well. Make sure you know what second language acquisition is about, right? And the importance of adult interaction in language learning. So far in our syllabus, we covered several examples. The book gives a lot of examples, and you can use any of the cases to illustrate your answer. So in class, I only covered, I believe, I covered Donald and Gua. I've covered Jeannie Wiley. I've covered Oksana Malaya. I've covered Helen Keller. But let's say if you read the book and you like the other examples given and you know how to relate those examples to the answer, go ahead. That's amazing. I highly encourage that, right? So you don't have to be confined to the examples I focused on in class. You can also use the examples given in the book, which I believe are quite a lot, all right? It's an interesting book to read. In case you want to like study the Jeannie Wiley case and use that as an example, in case you missed the link from the first time I showed the video, I can repost the link, so just let me know. But make sure you know what Jeannie Wiley's case is about. So make sure you know when was she rescued, for how long was she abused, and why was her situation in why was her language development that way? And how is that related to the critical period hypothesis and the concept of universal grammar, right? Flip the ATM machine, that's very heavy, Kazi. Please don't flip that. You're better off flipping roti canai, seriously. Alright, let's see what else. It's Jeannie Wiley, and then Helen Keller. Make sure you know Helen Keller's case. It's a very, very, I would say, Helen Keller's case is very nice to read. It's a very heartwarming one, actually. And some students prefer quoting her case rather than any other of the cases in the syllabus, all right? So yeah, I've covered two full chapters here very fast, very, very, swiftly. So before I go on to phonetics, are there any questions, guys? Yes, Wafa, sir, sir, you, what is it? What's going on? Okay, briefly explain again about the language. What language do you want me to explain? All right, so you have to understand the difference between first language and second language, right? So, first language, remember you can have more than one first language, right? For example, let's say before puberty, you were exposed to three first languages, and then, what you call that? You learn them in time, you acquire the vocabulary. All three will be your first language. So first doesn't necessarily mean one. So be very careful of that. Okay, rubber ducky. I don't know. I thought I teach humans, but never mind. I don't give slides this semester. I'm gonna encourage you guys to actually read the book. So if you want to see the slides, just rewatch this video. Because the slides, I mean, honestly, if you look at my slides, it's nothing much. It's just pictures, some text. I'm not sure how that's going to help you answer essay style questions. They're just rough points here. So the slides might not help that much. The book actually explains a lot. Language acquisition. Language acquisition, well, it's simply the process of learning language. First language acquisition is when you learn language naturally. For example, as a child in a universal grammar, you are exposed to the sounds and the words of language, and after some time, you're able to reproduce language. Whereas second language acquisition is basically what you call this? Second language acquisition is all about learning language after puberty. You're learning a language outside of its natural situation. So, for example, if you guys were to learn Japanese without anyone without knowing anyone who actually speaks Japanese, right? Okay, Aisha, language is innate. Okay, that's not what acquisition is about. You have to be very careful. Language is innate is a point for universal grammar. Universal grammar states that language is innate, meaning to say that the ability to learn language is something that comes naturally to us humans. So one of the biggest dangers in this subject is, mixing up the definitions of all the terminologies and all the concepts. Be very careful. You don't want to easily mix things within the same chapter. Alexa, if you need to see the rough points, they're actually in the course outline. The course outline actually gives a list of the rough points, in case you haven't noticed that. Okay, language is innate. Okay, what else, guys? Keep the questions coming in before I go on to the next chapter. let me see. So my next chapter on phonetics. Okay, and then of course, okay, chapter three. I'll move on to chapter three since there are no questions yet, but you can stop me with questions anytime, yeah? All right, chapter three is about the study of sounds, which I think might be the most interesting and most challenging for most of you guys. So make sure you know a little bit about the history. That's an Islamic perspective over there. And then make sure you know, yeah, this is basically the history. Quite simple. You can actually Google this, but not Wikipedia. Please, not Wikipedia. Yeah. And yeah, you have to know that, originally Arabic did not have any signs or dots. And then it came to Abu al-Aswad ad-Duwali who introduced the dot system. And later on, the modern diacritic system, which was introduced by Nasser bin Asim and Yahya bin Yu'ma in 129 Hijrah. Okay, quite simple. But what you need to know in phonetics is definitely this. Make sure you know your places of articulation in and out. Okay, for example, let's say if I were to ask you, okay, what sounds come out from the teeth area or your interdentals? So like snap, okay, interdental has what? A lot of sounds over there. Lips, what sounds come out from the lips? You also have to know the scientific name. For example, the lips are also known as the bilabials. The teeth are known as the dentals. Know your stuff. Okay, rubber ducky. I find it curious. How does a rubber ducky use a phone? But never mind about that. Okay, other than the book or Study of Language by George Shule, is there any other book? Yes, there are a lot of books. Yeah, I'll just help you over here. Yeah, hold on. Okay, if you were to look at the course outline, I'm not sure if it's, oh God. Okay, it's actually quite, okay. Just open the course outline, which is on your WhatsApp group. You may notice that there's the required reading, which is your main textbook. And you'll notice there are three other books being recommended. So yeah, there are actually other books you can refer to, which is actually listed in your course outline. You can refer to those books, yeah. Feel free to refer to those books. So you have McGregor's book, which I find to be rather fascinating and deep. It's a very deep book. Archibald's book tends to be quite far out there, but it's quite possible to go through it if you're up for it. And then for a good description of the Islamic perspective and the verses, you can actually refer to Said Muhammad Said. And by the way, guys, in case you didn't know, this applies to other subjects as well. So make sure you actually refer to the course outline, all right? Okay, Aisha Naswa, is that possible that things not in the book? Of course. Here's the thing, how it works. What's in the syllabus doesn't necessarily have to be in the book. And sometimes, even if, let's say, the syllabus follows the book, the questions might not come from the book. The questions might require examples from real life or from personal experiences or maybe from our situation as Muslims. Guys, this is university. It's no longer about memorizing books. It's about applying knowledge. All right, I'll give you an example without leaking questions. I have to be very careful here because I made the questions. What can I? Okay, I'll give a past year one, right? For example, like, yeah, the book doesn't talk about the difficulty of pronouncing certain sounds. That is up to you to figure out. The book doesn't give you the Quranic verse for divine source theory. That's for you to find out. The book doesn't tell you, how, for example, learning language might, for example, like let's say in schools, how would you recommend a school to effectively teach English. That's not stated in the book at all. But you have the knowledge, you have the basic, which is mentioned in the book. So you need to really know how to use things, all right? So yeah, welcome to university, welcome to foundation. It's no longer about memorizing points. And yeah, I know it's very like flustered that like, of course. I'm Toyar, I'm not sure who you are. Okay, Maizatul Moiza. Hello, welcome to my class. I welcome people to join, right? Can you brief a little bit about Islamization of linguistics? Oh, good question. You just need to know the verses and hadith which are in the syllabus. In case you don't know, you can ask my students, or you can also look at the course outline. By the way, guys, here's one thing that everybody needs to know, right? The course outline is your best friend. Do look at the recommended readings, all right? Because the Islamic perspective actually is explicitly mentioned over there. The direct source. It comes from a journal called the American Journal of Social Sciences. You might want to read that. It's actually mentioned there very, very clearly. But what I can tell you, Maizatul Muiza, is that the chapter of Islamization of linguistics basically there are several verses and hadith which talk about language, and usually you have to like apply your understanding of those verses into real life situations. For example, okay, let me just see how can I say this without saying much. Okay, one very popular, one very. No, I have to think of the question here. Okay, let's say, for example, a lot of people say that English is a kafir language, and I say this very often in my classes, right? People assume that English is kafir. So, using your knowledge of the Islamic perspective of language, how would you encourage Muslims to learn the English language, for example? So that's the kind of question, and no book is going to give the answer. This is all about your understanding of what is given in the book and how you would apply that in a real life situation. So yeah, the book, when it comes to university level, the book is going to just give you the basics, but the understanding part and applying it and giving your own example, that comes from you. All right. Kazi, no, I do not murder human beings. I only kill animals because I want to eat them. All right. So back to where we were. So make sure you know your places of articulation, what sounds are produced at what organ, and make sure you also know the IPA symbols in and out. All right. Let me just find a way to show this on the screen. Where are you? Where are you? Just give me a sec. Okay, it's showing here, but not showing there. Capture. All right. So this is one thing that I believe, you know, as a student of linguistics, all of you should know by heart as well. Make sure you know the basic symbols, right? You don't have to know every single symbol yet at this level, but you have to know on a basic level how to describe them, what are the names of the important symbols, and yeah, stuff like that. So you're not going to learn all of them. For example, we do not have any bilabial trill. We don't have bilabial fricative in the syllabus. We don't have a labidental tap. We don't have a labidental nasal. I believe on the WhatsApp group, I actually gave an edited version of the table where I actually like blanked out the parts we're not learning for foundation level, all right? But make sure you know which sound belongs where and how to pronounce them and how to transcribe them. These are all important symbols. But we're only covering your pulmonic consonants, and we're going to cover just the basic vowels. The rest of the table, these are all for degree and masters onwards, so don't worry too much about that, right? And with that, guys, I pretty much have gone through the whole syllabus for your midterm, all right? Okay, let's have a good question from Leah Samsul. I'm not sure who's Leah Samsul. Okay, about language in Islamic perspective just now, can we tell about Zaid ibn Sabit? My answer is this. It depends. Depends on the question. If the question is about, if the question is about, let me give an example. Mm, If the question is about origin of language, where language came from, you are not going to give Zaid ibn Sabit's example. You have to look at the question and you have to look at the situation given. So be very careful. You have to know what each verse is about. You have to know what each hadith is about. You can't simply just give one hadith for everything. It doesn't work that way, all right? And I know, yeah, we've pretty much finished. It's actually a very short syllabus because we only have like 3 chapters. Alia 730. Okay. Okay, Wafa, the good thing is you can watch this again tomorrow. That's a great part. Or whenever the line is better. Or you can just, if you're viewing this on the laptop, you can actually download this video after I stream, which is really handy. It might take a while to download, but once it's fully downloaded, it's completely smooth. All right, yeah, so I've covered 3 chapters in just 50 minutes, 50 minutes. Any questions, guys? Anything you want me to re-explain? Nothing much. Basically, you have definition of language, the important theories regarding language, language acquisition, critical period and universal grammar, language acquisition, Islamic perspective on language, and sounds. So is morpheme included in the midterm? Uh, well, I didn't mention anything about it, so how to name the vowel part. So it's the same as your consonants. If you notice consonants, you start from the top and then the left and then the voicing, right? So when it comes to what you call these vowels, you start with this part first, whether it's front, central, or back, and then whether it's close or open, and then whether it's rounded or unrounded. So for example, your long E over here would be a front close unrounded vowel. Your E over here would be a front close mid unrounded vowel. Your A over here is a back open mid unrounded. Schwa is unique. Schwa is simply a central vowel because it's right in the center. Okay, keep the questions coming in. So far, so good. So your midterm will be this Wednesday. Awesome sauce. So the midterm shall be Wednesday. The paper is approximately 1 hour and 15 minutes. 1 5. It's a short paper, don't worry. I believe it's only 4 pages long. Just 4 pages, including the cover page. So you know it's a short paper. Ya Allah. Why? What happened here? Oh my God. Okay, keep the questions coming in, guys. Where did this? Okay, schwa is known as, okay, I'll just type this out for reference. Schwa is known as central vowel. It's very simple because it's dead in the center there. Okay, what else, guys? Keep the questions coming in. Let me see. Consultations. If you guys need to consult me, I'll be available for final consultation sessions on, let's see, Tuesday morning, I'm not available. And then Tuesday afternoon, I'm completely full with classes. And then, yeah, I'm only free on Wednesday morning for final face to face. So, guys, make this session count. I only have consultation hours on Wednesday morning. Any more questions? We have quite a number of viewers tonight. It's very healthy. Yeah, any other chapter you want, any other part of any chapter you want me to re-clarify? The upside down N, which upside down N are you talking about? What do you mean, Kazi? Which, okay, in the first place, I don't think there's an upside down N in the whole table. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Which symbol are you talking about? Oh yeah, you have to know how to name your symbols. M terbalik. I don't think there's an M terbalik. Okay, Kazi, if you notice, okay, I think Kazi is referring to this one over here. Am I right? I never taught this. So you might want to like look back at your notes, or you might want to look back at the file that I sent on the group. And on the group, you notice I will actually blank out the symbols which are not in the syllabus. Okay, which one are you talking about, Kazi? Which one? Are you talking about this one over here? I never covered this as well. It's actually blanked out in the table. The horseshoe looking one, which one are you talking about? This one? That's not an upside down N, that's a U. It's literally a horseshoe U. Yeah, what's this? Okay, so if it's inside the table, this is your back. Okay, it's actually your back close unrounded as well. No, back close rounded. Yeah, it literally is called the horseshoe U. That's its actual name. It's called the horseshoe U. All right. If you want to name it by position, it will be your back close short rounded vowel. That's the name. Make sure you know which
symbols are in this, and make sure you know that how they sound like as well. That'll be a very, very interesting one. Okay, very good question for Reda over there. Okay, now the name of the symbol, but not the sound. Symbol name is horseshoe U, but description, name of the sound is actually a back close short rounded vowel. How does it sound? Oh, I've given examples in class already. Okay, by the way, somebody asked something earlier. I missed a question. Explain the vowels. Okay, Hafizin Ayuni Idris. Can you explain the vowels and diphthongs? How do you want me to explain them? Hmm. Well, I can say that when it comes to vowels, oh, sorry about that. Um, if you know, okay, is my cursor there? Okay, the way this is laid out is basically like the way your mouth is from the side, all right? So where does your tongue go to? So imagine, sorry. Imagine my hand here is the tongue, all right? So does the tongue go there or there or there or there? It's basically tongue position. It's quite simple. And one thing that can actually help you is to literally move your tongue to the positions in the table. That's how it actually works. Okay. Okay, Iman Khalida. How to determine this? Okay, good. Now, if you look at consonants, the one on the left is voiceless and the one on the right is voiced. So vowels follow a similar system. The one on the left is unrounded and the one on the right is rounded. And in case you haven't noticed it yet, it's actually written on the table there. When symbols appear in pairs, the one to the right represents a rounded vowel, which means the one on the left is unrounded. It's actually stated here on the table itself. So how to know whether it's rounded or unrounded? If let's say it appears in pairs like this, remember pairs, berpasang. So the one on the right is your rounded and the one on your left is unrounded. Again, it's stated very nicely in the table there. All right. And yeah, most of you, I hope you have an app for phonetics, which actually helps with learning. You're welcome, Iman, no problem. Let's see, make the sound of every vowel. I think the app actually helps a lot more than me at this hour. But in case I need to help you guys again, I'm willing to do it. All right. So vowels, okay, you have the long E and the short E. All right. So you have sheep and you have ship. One of them is your kapal and one is your kambing. All right. How to know the difference between fricatives and affricates? Oh, it's actually very simple, all right? The difference between fricatives and affricates are very, very simple. Okay, a fricative is where the air is continuous, all right? Hold on a sec. All right. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, hold on a sec. Hold on a sec, guys. All right, where were we just now? Okay, so what? Eche. Hey, what? You guys are. All right. What? Hey guys, don't tease me. Otherwise, I'll be teasing you when you get your marks later on. Okay. All right. Let's see. How to know the difference between fricatives and affricates. Sabar Habibi sekalian. Oh my God, you guys. What? Okay. So a fricative. Okay, fricative is from the word friction. All right. So you have a friction of air. Huh, huh, huh. Even when you hold the sound huh, you can act what? Hey, I thought yeah, what? All right. Even when you say fuh, fuh, what you call that? You can actually like hear that flow of air. All right. Whereas, what is that? Yeah, whereas, okay, affricate like ch and j. When you want to hold the sound, you actually are stopping the sound and only then you're pronouncing it. All right. So to make it really easy, there are only two affricates in the whole syllabus, your ch and your j sound, right? So when you say ch and you try to hold the pronunciation, like nothing comes out. When you hold the sound, when you say ch, nothing comes out. But when you say fish, when you hold that sound, the air comes out. Fricatives have that air coming out even when you're holding the sound, whereas affricates, when you hold it, it stops. It only releases the air when you're pronouncing it, all right? Diphthongs are a combination of two vowels at the same time. For example, like you have I, or you have oi, you have o, you have o. Very simple. Two vowels together are diphthongs, all right? Z and j. Okay, Wafa, those are two completely different sounds. So the first one is a z, literally a z, like you zap someone or you zoom in. That's z. Whereas the other one is a j, j like judge, or you go to Japan. Okay, I missed the question there. Okay, a front close. How to know long or short? Okay, how to know whether it's long or short? The short vowels are the ones inside here. Short, short, short. Yeah, there are only three short vowels in the entire syllabus. That should be easy. That should be very easy. So only the Roman looking I, the horseshoe U, and schwa, those are the only short vowels. Okay, which symbol then, Wafa? Yeah, I would understand that the chapter on symbols, especially phonetic symbols, can be a bit mind-boggling because of the amount of symbols and all that, but it's actually not that bad, right? Practice makes perfect for this one. Okay, hold on, I need a drink for a while, so just give me a sec. Get some water. All right, test, 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 test. Okay, testing, testing. Okay, oh, a lot of questions there. Blah, blah, blah. The phonetic app. Okay, it's an app called Sounds the Pronunciation app. Let me show you. Where's my app? Hold on a sec. I have too many apps in this. Yeah, it looks like this. Sounds the Pronunciation app. So it's a very awesome app. You should download it. It's available for both Android and iPhone and whatever system you're using. Even Windows Phone is available. Yeah. Okay, what else? Let's see. Tips to answer the question. What is Kogano Sekito? Huh, what? All right. How to get full marks? Show that you understand. Simple as that. Read the question and see what is required. I'll give you a hint, all right? If you see a lot of lines, it means your answer shouldn't be short. That's one thing I can really tell you, yeah? So be very careful with that one. Yeah, I drink a lot when I stream, whether it's teaching or gaming, I really need to drink a lot. Okay, what else? Let's see, supper quote. Huh? Supper what? I didn't have supper. I just got a drink. I need to drink more water. Plus the weather is really dry and the haze and everything. All right, let's see. We need the format to answer the question. Okay, here's one thing I can tell you about university in general and UIA specifically, and foundation to be more specific. The format changes every time. Every semester, there are changes in the format. So, the thing about university style education is that the reason we don't have like a set format is because university students, the expectation is that you're able to tackle and face any kind of situation. All right. So make sure you're ready. That's why we don't really give format and stuff like that. Even if you look at past year papers, and I did show that to my sections, in fact, the samples, you'll notice that the question style changes all the time. So, yeah, that's the challenge. You'll notice this for all subjects from now on until you graduate, all right? Whenever you graduate, yeah. So that's life because, for example, if somebody wants to do bad to you, you don't know what format his evil will be like. Maybe sometimes he might, what you call that? Some bad people, they choose to kacau you on Twitter. Some might kacau you in real life. Some might do bad things to you. There's no format for doing bad things. And there's also no format for good things. For example, some people might help people by making dua. Some people might help others by literally helping them physically. Some might help financially. Life itself does not have a format. The only thing that has a format is solat and puasa and zakat and the ibadah basically, all right? The wajib ibadah, the rukun ibadah part, all right? Everything else, it's open to interpretation. Life is like that. You don't know what's going to come. And to answer why there's no MCQ, the easier subjects normally do not, no, normally the harder subjects do not have MCQ. All right. Only the easier subjects have MCQ. But from degree onwards, you almost never see MCQs. In foundation, maybe one or two subjects have MCQ, like I think maybe ICT or maybe social studies, depending on the lecturer, or maybe subjects like See, I can't even name much because MCQ is not a preferred format in university in general. Essays and short answer and critical questions, that's the way to go in university. Flip yourself, I don't know how you do that. Nice tip, oh thank you. Hurts in meow meow, what's that supposed to be? Alright, any other questions, guys? But I think you guys will love the format of this midterm. Etymology, oh, you guys are pretty fast because I know if you're, I think you must be from Sir Atta's class. And Sir Atta did actually, he's actually faster than me right now. Because what happened was I spent a lot of time of phonetics with my students. So we just, I think only one class of mine actually got a preview of etymology, right? One or two classes actually just covered a bit of it. Etymology is interesting, by the way. But then again, here's the thing. I'm not a reliable source as to what will come out. I will not tell you what will come out. The one thing I can tell you for sure, I cannot say yes or no to the question, but I can tell you there'll be questions. There will be questions, and the answers come completely from you. And I can guarantee that the questions are a lot of fun. Like a lot of fun. Guaranteed fun. What else can I say about the questions? Chat out of 10, I don't know. I think the questions are very easy. The ability to use language as a tool, Mama Amin Mama Shukri, very simple, right? So when a child understands that, he or she can use a word to request for something or to use the word to call someone, you have used the language as a tool to reach or get something. I know, yeah, it's a fun paper. Trust me, I love the question I made. I know that sounds very, I sound like I'm full of myself, but this is one of the. I wouldn't say it's difficult. It's not my most difficult paper. Definitely not my most difficult paper. Challenging, definitely. None of my papers are. I don't do boring papers. My papers are designed for maximum impact when it comes to your emotion and your expression. But of course, everything that comes out in the paper is in the syllabus. I can assure you it's all from the syllabus. Oh no, you're not going to be dismissed just because of this subject. No. So yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun making the exam paper, and I hope that the expression, I mean, the feelings that I went through in making the paper will be felt by all of you when you guys answer the paper. Okay, any other final questions? I think I'll have another, let's see, another 1 or 2 minutes left. Guys, don't pressure Kazi. Don't pressure Kazi. Yeah, this is a place for discussion. No fighting, please. Don't fight. Don't fight. Did I miss anyone in chat? Let me see.
Okay, you guys are funny. All right, so I think there are no more questions right now. Okay, oh, so the ITL book actually uses British English, in case you haven't noticed it. The textbook is more towards British English, actually. Which one is the most to know where language? Here's the thing. I don't know what's your real name, Lexia Rose, but there is no single method that has been proven, to be able to prove where language comes from, which is why those theories are still theories, because none of them have been proven yet. So at the moment, oh, Ziana. All right. Okay, welcome, Ziana. I appreciate that you joined this. Okay, but sir, yes, Wafa. What is it, Wafa? Stop explaining. What? Yeah. So what's wrong with that? Laugh. Let me see. The word laugh. Well, if I were to pronounce it the American way, it'll be laugh. British would say laugh, or some British people do pronounce it as laugh, actually. Yeah, they pronounce it laugh. So British would be this. I'll type it out for you. I'll do it without the diacritics. So let me see. Of course, moon. Of course, you have to know all your terms in phonetics. If you don't know, then you're going to be in trouble for that. So yeah, laugh. Not the upside down V. Yeah? The upside down V is something else completely different. Because in American English, you say laugh, use the AE symbol. So Americans will pronounce it a lot like this. Are you laughing right now? Like they'll say, wait, let me type that out. Laugh. Okay. Yes. What is it, Wafa? What's the example given the ITL book for laugh? Did they use the AE or they use the A symbol? Hey, hold on, I pressed type by accident. But that's the thing, I mean, even in British English, there's actually a lot of way to pronounce words. There's no single way to pronounce certain words. So as long as you don't pronounce laugh or laugh as lof, you're fine, right? But the book is definitely more British centric. Okay, you want to change the phonetic symbols? Yeah, you have to put the slash thing. Okay, there's actually a difference between the slash brackets and the square brackets, all right? So we use the slash brackets for phonetics, and we use the square brackets for phonology. But phonology is a totally different game. It's crazier, I would say, more complex. Okay, Wafa, yeah, it's you're laughing at someone or you're laughing at someone, it's still the same thing, right? Some British people do pronounce it as laugh with the A symbol, but some British people do pronounce it as laugh as well. It's only us Malaysians who pronounce it as, hold on, let me get my IPA keyboard running for a while. Only Malaysians pronounce it as, yeah, this is Malaysian pronunciation. All right, laugh. I laugh at you. That's a very Malaysian pronunciation. Yeah, better make it a habit to use the slash. In fact, if you read dictionaries, they use the slash symbols because you can use the slash to differentiate the words actually. All right, guys, is there anything else? I'm gonna call it a night now. I'm getting sleepy, by the way. So if there's nothing else, thank you for all the questions. Thank you for participating. So I'll see you guys tomorrow in class. If you guys need to consult me, I should be free on Wednesday morning. I'll let you know what time. Yeah, I know my time is very limited this semester. This week is the busiest week of all. Uh, Good luck for the exam. Make sure you read your dua. Don't miss your prayers if possible. And do call their parents, ask for forgiveness, ask for their blessings, because remember the dua of a parent is very, very good. All right. It's mujarab and mustajab for us. And make sure to always do good in your life as well. Read Surah Inshirah, perform Surah Duha. All right. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's hard. Personally, I would rank this paper, I mean, among all my papers, on a scale of 1 to 10, probably a 6 over 10. Not my hardest paper. It's challenging, especially the first question, which I think is a work of art. But yeah, who will I choose? I don't know. I'll choose at random. Even I don't know who's going next. All right. Okay, anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure doing revision at night here. So I'll see you guys in class later on. So thank you guys. Assalamu alaikum.